Okay, so good morning once again. So let's talk about the chapter 5, the last chapter of the CFLM 2. So we have the theories of community policing. So it is just an addition of the topic in CFLM 2. So medyo may additional lamang po tayo when it comes to community policing. So these are the theories with regards to community policing. Okay, so the first theory is, so we have the structural theory. So dito, this community policing signifies that crime is produced by societal factors over which police have relatively little control. Dito, sinasabi that the problem in the community is a societal factors. Okay? Kung bakit daw nagkakaroon ng maraming krimen, it's because of the societal factors. Okay? So we need to have the so-called the fear of crime para daw mawala po yung mga societal factors na yon or matupad yung social structural theory. So ano nga ba yung mga societal factors natin? Una, population explosion. Hindi makontrol-control na population sa Pilipinas. Yung pagdami ng mga nagkakaanak agad, lalo-lalo na yung population ng early pregnancy or early motherhood or fatherhood na nangyayari sa bansa natin. So that is part of the societal factors. And inadequate economic growth. So may maraming iba na maraming anak pero walang trabaho. Hindi na po siya masama, but ang nagiging problem po doon is yung nagiging quality of life ng family. Okay? Pangatlo is the inequitable distribution of opportunities. So may iba na nagpupunta ng Manila dahil sa probinsya nila ay konti ang kinikita. Kaya ng tendency, nagsisiksikan sa Manila. Kasi mas mataas nga naman talaga ang sahod sa Manila. Pangapat, side-by-side unplanned industrialization. No? Hindi nakaayon sa developmental plan ng bansa natin. Yung bigla-bigla lang may uusbong na building. Kaya ang tendency, yung mga kanal, yung mga drainage system ng bansa natin ay natatakpan. Panglima, naulit lamang, poverty, syempre kahirapan, hindi mawawala yun as a societal problem. Pang-anim, we have the superimposed to ignorance. So, hindi a lack of education of the Filipinos ang nangyayari din. So, may iba na kulang sa kaalaman, kaya nagiging problema yon. Okay? And lastly, we have the urbanization. So, yung biglang pagdami nga din ng mga bahay or which result to the population explosion din naman. So, those are the societal factors that if cannot address, there will be a tendency that there is a higher level of disorder in the society. So papansinin ninyo, lahat ng nakakaranas ng mga societal factors na yan, sila yung mga matataas ang krimen sa Pilipinas. Okay? So sinasabi din ni Friedman, the criminalization or decriminalization of an act reflects society's reaction on it. So paano daw pag nakikriminalize daw or nade-decriminalize, depende daw kung paano ang reaction ng society. For example, ang pagnanakaw, kung sanay na ang mga tao na may magnanakaw, parang hindi na siya krimen para sa kanila. Pero halimbawa, walang batas Walang batas na nagbabawal. For example lang, um, sabihin natin na tawag dito, yung pagnanakaw, okay? Parang normal na sa mga tao na manakawan, normal na sa mga tao na parang nade-decriminalize na po siya. Okay? Parang ganun po yung tinutukoy ni Friedman. And let's assume, sabi daw dyan, the social structural concept of community policing requires a citizen to assume the responsibility for controlling the crime. Since, tatandaan po natin that this is a societal factor, so kinakailangan po na society mismo ang mag-control sa krimen. Kasi nga, little control lamang. Bakit? Nandun sa society ang problema eh. 'Di ba? Anong magagawa ng law enforcement natin kung mismong society ang hindi nakikipag-cooperate? So sabi diyan, infraction of law is equals to anti-social act. Okay? So we have here the another theory in the social structural theory na naka-attach sa kanya is the broken window theory. The broken window theory argues that unattended behavior leads to the breakdown of community controls focus on leading. Thus, leading to crime. So pag may hindi tayo napapansin na mga maliliit na bagay, lumalaki daw. 'Di ba? Sabi nga sa isang kanta, maliit na butas, lumalaki. Pag hindi na-attain yon, hindi agad na-resolve ang problema, possible yun, natalaki at lalaki yung magiging problema. And tatandaan, community cooperation will results to successful community policing. If there will be a successful community policing, there will be a community satisfaction. Tatandaan nyo, class, that if you become a law enforcement, your only client is the community, in which we need them to be satisfied of the service of the law enforcement. Okay? So yun po yung dapat na gagawin. Pangalawang theory naman dyan is the modern management theory, technology theory. Dito, enables the formulation of the progressive and innovative crime detection system for digital economy. Dito naman sa modern management technology theory, it comprises all of the high technology innovations na nangyari sa crime detection natin, no? So paano nga ba tulad ngayon, we have the AFIS and the IBIS, di ba? So kinakailangan natin 'yon for the help na ma-detect natin yung krimen. So meron pa tayong mga AI ngayon, di ba? Na nagagamit natin. Dati pag binablatter natin, kailangan pa natin isulat. Ngayon, we have the e-blatter. So yun po yung mga technology na ginagamit. Computer. Dati na typewriter lang ang gamit ng mga investigator natin. Ngayon, gamit na nila ay computer mismo. So tatandaan lang natin, no? Too sophisticated technology and modern equipments ay pwede siyang maging burden lamang po. Bakit? Tulad na lang ng pagpasok ng cybercrime sa Pilipinas, di ba? Pagpasok ng cybercrime, so syempre, yung mga law enforcers natin kailangan mag-training with regards to the cybercrime. Okay? So nagiging great burden nga lang siya. Although, napapractice naman pa unti-unti, yun nga lang, medyo mahirap sa mga matatagal na sa serbisyo. Tatandaan that community policing permits the issues of the use of modern technology. Pinapayagan tayo to address the problems in the community, but it also rests on the belief that nothing surpasses what dedicated human beings talking and working together can achieve. So wala pa rin daw yan kung may mga tao pa rin daw yung sa nagagawa mismo ng tao. Okay? Pangatlong theory naman natin is the democratic theory. So anyone who exercise authority on behalf of the community, like the police, is accountable to the community. Tatandaan po natin that if it comes to democratic theory, kung sino daw po ang merong authority sa ating community, sila po ang may accountable sa community. Tulad ng tulad ng Lea 1 principle natin, the principle of accountability. You have the authority over them, ikaw ang may authority para sa kanila, and you need to you are accountable sa mga mangyayari sa kanila. For example, you are in authority to make arrest. You are in authority to conduct investigation, and now there is a lawless element na nandyan, pagala-gala, and then yung mga tao feel unsafe. So, ikaw ang accountable niyan bilang isang law enforcer. So, yun po yung sinasabi ng democratic theory. Sabi dyan, according to this theory, community policing is an explicit effort to create a more democratic police force. It is based on the assumption that policing will be more effective if it has the support and input from the community, and if the community recognizes the social services and order maintenance aspect of the police role. So tinabi nga ni Sir Robert Peel that the community is the police and the police is the community. Class, always remember that the police is nangangailangan din po ng tulong ng community natin. Why? Because the reliable information is coming from the community. How will these law enforcement officers will do an action to address the problems in the community if the community has no support over the law enforcement activities? So kinakailangan natin makuha ang loob ng community para si community mismo ang magsasabi sa atin ng mga ng mga information with regards to anti-criminality activity. Okay? Next po, we have the zero tolerance theory. Sa zero tolerance theory, it coming from the origin of the broken windows theory. No? So, sinasabi that there are minor incivilities such as begging, public drunkenness, vandalism, and graffiti produce an atmosphere in which more serious crime will flourish. Tatandaan natin, if we cannot tolerate those minor incivilities, no, yung mga minor crimes na nangyayari sa bansa natin, if hindi natin sila pinapalagpas, ang problema kasi sa bansa natin, if there are minor crimes that was happen, pinapalagpas kasi wala naman yan, di ba? But hindi natin nakikita the effect of those minor incivilities. Bakit? Maliit lang siya sa una pero hindi natin nakikita na lumalaki pala. Okay? At tatandaan natin, zero tolerance policy means pursuing minor crime vigorously. The authority can create an environment in which crime or more dangerous crimes cannot flourish. So habang tayo daw ay tinitingnan natin kahit na mga maliliit na detalye ng krimen, tinitingnan natin, ina-address natin ang problema sa krimen na yon kahit na maliit lang siya na bagay, wala pong mangyayari na mas malaki. Parang ganito, ayan, di natin nakikita kung sino siya. Hanggang sa lumaki. Nakita natin na siya pala si Lexilor. Okay? Ayan. Next, we have the public relations theory. So, not only should there be an emphasis on the good maintenance of good public relations, but there should also be an attempt to highlight the importance of the interdependence between police and community. So, as a police officer, we need to have a public relation sa ating community. Tatandaan natin, kaya nga tayo mayroong PCR, the Police Community Relation. Bakit? Sila ang ang agency sa loob ng PNP mismo, sila mismo, ang isang unit rather, sa PNP na re-remain ng good relationship between the community and the police. Kasi tatandaan natin, in every operations na ginagawa ng police, there are times na napapalayo ang loob ng mga tao sa kapulisan natin. Kaya anong gagawin? Nandiyan si PCR para mailapit ang pulis sa loob ng community natin. Okay? Next. So what are those tasks ba na dapat gawin ng isang police officer to maintain the good public relations? So una, keep track analytical police coverage on media, keeping track of and analyzing the public opinion, elaboration of a monthly plan of media-related activities and of specific plans for the requirements of the operative services, everyday reporting to the public through the mass media about the more important security events, and managing the police website. As you can notice, di ba? We have the Facebook page, mga social media pages ng mga kapulisan natin. For what? Dahil alam nila that most of the Filipinos are highly engaged in social medias, kaya lahat ng ginagawa ng kapulisan natin ay pinopost through social medias, different social medias, like Facebook, Instagram, ano pa ba? Basta may mga social media na nandoon yung activities ng kapulisan natin para makita, in order to show that the police are well engaged in the public service in the community. Okay? Next, we have the communitarian theory ni Amitai Etzioni. Sabi niya, gone too far in extending the right to our citizen and not far enough in asking them to fulfill responsibilities to the community as a whole. So sabi niya, masyado na tayong pinagpukusan yung pagbibigay natin ng karapatan sa mga tao, but hindi natin binigay sa kanila, hindi tayo nag-require sa kanila na gawin din kung anong responsibilidad nila sa community. For example, we give them the different rights. We have the right to liberty. We have the right, we have just different rights. We have the human rights, di ba? So marami tayong binigay na karapatan para sa kanila. Example, right to liberty, right to education. Ayan, those are examples of rights na binigay sa community. But, sabi ni Amitai Etzioni, binigyan natin ng karapatan pero hindi natin sila nire-require or sinasabihan na you have the responsibility also to the community, di ba? So you have the right na manirahan diyan. You have the right to own a property, pero dapat may responsibilidad ka rin pangalagaan yung property mo. For example, you have the right to buy a certain car and then you have the responsibility in driving your car. Di ba? So yun yung sinasabi ng communitarian theory. Okay? And always remember that community involvement in problem solving. Para ma-resolve daw ang problema sa community, there should be a community involvement. Okay? So we have here the communitarianism as the right comes with responsibilities. It is inserting community into social contractarian equation as a source of value. And communities have right, individuals have obligation to communities as well as to each other. And also, it stands for the protection of common good community policing is also a communitarian justice program, and it expands the role of the police from a constitutional job of protecting individual rights into a more progressive definition based on protecting the common good. So yun po yung tinatawag natin na communitarian theory. Next, we have the organizational structure and culture theory. Dito naman, a central feature of law enforcement, the institutionalization framework and organizational apparatus of the police organizations must be altered if they are to accommodate the sweeping changes implied in the community policing proponents. So tatandaan natin that yung ating law enforcement ay sumusunod sa mga organizational structures. So we have the new PNP chief na nagbabago, if not yearly, appropriately doon sa kanyang term, end ng term niya bilang isang chief PNP, for example, no? So nakasunod po doon. So sunod sa chief PNP, we'll have the deputy for admin and operation, and then the chief directorial staff, and so on and so forth. So nakikita natin sa organizational structure ng PNP natin. At sometimes, there are times na napapalitan sila. They are not constant in their position, napapalitan, nara-rank up, nagre-retire, because that is the part of the organizational structure theory. Sabi din, the organizational structure is a normative structure of rules, and rules aims specifying more or less clearly who is expected to do what and how. The various dimensions of the organizational structure, such as size and horizontal specialization, express the number of roles that are to be filled. Okay? And also, institutionalization is a concept that defines the process through which the members of an agency organization acquire values that go beyond the technical requirements of organizational tasks. And also, take note that no organization is completely free of such process. Community policing is one such example of the institutionalization. Nabubulo ko sa institutionalization na to. Okay? So yun po yung kailangan natin with regards to the organizational structure theory, that we need to be institutionalized when it comes to our organization. We need to institutionalize the process of our organization. Okay? So yun naman po. Maraming salamat. Ito yung kanina sa NDM natin, the 6 elements na naktawan lamang. No? So these are the 6 elements of the national decision model na nawala siya ng pwesto. Okay? So thank you and God bless.